Welcome back to Italia Demo, where you make the story, for episode number 2 with me, MrSealyp. Back at it. Never stops. So, first contract out the way yesterday. I say out the way, kind of out the way. Massive thank you to Badger Step Farm. But we're moving forward. I took on the contract for field 33, which is a bigger proposition than field 43. Not much bigger, but it's a bigger field. This Reich was a great idea in theory, and I mentioned in the last episode I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it. Now, there's a whole load of stuff here that needs explanation. I said I need a baler because I've got to bale the straw on field 1. I've gone for the John Deere 466. It's a round baler. This is leased. I haven't got the money to buy. I'm supposed to have. I'm holding out for a square baler, but particular one. Fingers crossed on that, we'll see what happens. But for the time being, I'm going to do round bales. But what's also dawned on me, just as I said that, I haven't got anything to collect the bales with. I wonder if I can... Oh, that's got a front loader attacher. So I could get a front loader. I might have to do that for time building. I've got the forklift. The forklift can do bales, but I don't really want to take it onto a field, and that really should stay here. Which means this needs an explanation. This being delivered can only mean one thing. The first of our horse contracts will be coming up soon. Not quite yet. Horses are en route. Those are going to be from Big Papa C, but we'll get onto that contract later on. And then we've got a trailer over here. This is why I'm up here. So the second contract of sorts. The first two have actually turned out to be vehicle ones, and that's just the way it's worked really. This is from BD Agricultural Supplies UK. That's a subsidiary of Golf Cart Inc. If you are aware, you might be aware, I'm not sure, possibly you might have heard me mention it, Big Daddy, Golf Cart Jockey, a few guys out there, Farmer Min, there's a whole load of guys that do some great content. And so, subsidiary of Golf Cart Inc., BD Agricultural Supplies UK, and they have offered me, we would like to offer you this exciting offer of a week's trial of a new item we've recently received at our office. The item being a pack side tipper trans 100 TC. Please let us know if you are interested. Now I'm going to leave the rice there for a moment because I'm now height wise, I'm just thinking that tipper does seem a little bit higher. I'm hoping that will go underneath the harvester pipe. It should do. That one's 16,000, which I can upgrade to an 18. This one is a 48,000 litre. It's a side tipper, so I'll give it a go. Now we've got it for a week, but potentially, if I like it, I might keep it, because what's also great about this one is you've got the rear trailer hitch. So if I bought a second one, well, 96,000 litres, I'll take that. You can separate and use them in different places around the farm, but join them together and you've got a fairly good capacity there that can still be hauled by tractor. I'd probably need a slightly larger tractor, but anyway, I need to get down to field 33. The harvest will continue on there, but what I'm also going to do is bring the Massey up. We're going to grab that baler and I'm going to bale field 1, but then I need to get a front loader attacher, or I mean I have got enough money, I suppose I can get myself... We need a skid steer loader or a loader of some description. Oh, I could get the Volvo loader. I like that. I haven't used that yet, have I? I might get the Volvo. I don't know how expensive it is. We'll have to look and see if they've got one available, if they can get one for us. I know it's not. Where am I going? It's not technically the Volvo. Do you know what I mean? Field 33 is this way. These roundabouts are quite tight. There we go. Come on, one sign. There we go. Now this has been recorded straight after the last episode, so I haven't been on any comments or anything yet. I don't know how the first video's done. I hope it's done all right. I'm trying my hardest for these not to be too heavy, you know. I don't want them to be... I know people have said before about the subscriber contracts, they find them complicated and difficult to follow, and my way when I did the video explaining, I've just suddenly realised I didn't put a link to it on the last video. It is in, I can't remember what playlist it's in now, but there is a video explaining subscriber contracts. I'll have to go and do that. Yeah, people found them a bit heavy, a bit complicated, difficult to follow sometimes. but I just want people to view them as it's another type of contract. It's no different to doing the ones you do in-game. It's an in-game contract just submitted by subscribers instead. There's a little bit more detail to them and a little bit more backstory, and that's what I said about the narrative. Then obviously there are people out there that don't necessarily like the narrative-based Let's Plays. So again, we're back to that. You can't please everybody, unfortunately. We'll see how we go. I'm just looking now thinking, please, because it curves over. Please fit under, please fit under. Oh, okay. I mean, technically, it does. We'll just stick with technically. Now, hopefully, in this episode as well, what I'm hoping to do is actually unload at the correct place. So what I might do this time is I might save the game, and then when I get there to unload, if I make a mistake, you know the flashbacks. What? I'm trying to think what racing game it was that did the flashbacks. Was it Grid? Might be Race Driver Grid. I think F1 does it as well now, doesn't it? I think you can do it on there. You can do flashbacks if you make a mistake kind of thing, so you can kind of roll back a few seconds. It'll be that kind of thing, you know? No, I'm not going to make you sit and watch me do another harvest. Look at the state of the harvest. This got really dirty really quick. Am I going to need a bigger harvester with a bigger header? Probably. I was thinking that after the last episode, I was mulling over what I'd done and taking on contracts for other people as well as the subscriber contracts is going to help me tick over. Because interestingly, a lot of the contracts I've been given they do pay out when I finish the contract, obviously. Some of them are for people that own fields around the map, so we'll get onto those at a later date. But it's having the finances up front. I'm really struck on that. I'm getting the Volvo now, actually. Now that rice, actually I can sell the rice now, can't I? That rice trailer can be converted, so you can change it into a livestock trailer, and it can be converted into a bale loading wagon. So I thought about keeping it and just converting it for bale loading, but I have got that other flatbed which I could use as well. The one that's it's the i4 Williams, but it's the Blizzard. Is it F208 or something like that? So I might have to use that, I think. But yeah, the thing about this being now as well, what I've always really enjoyed myself about doing subscriber contracts, and the whole premise behind it, is that whereas normally I kind of get into a bit of a flow and I just kind of off I go and I waffle and chat and whatever, my mind is constantly just working now. It's ticking away, and I know I said it on Spectacle a lot, and I think I annoyed people, and I apologise if I annoyed people. I kept saying about jigsaw puzzle, you know, it's all the puzzle pieces and everything's slotted together in the right order, and this is how subscriber contracts work. When you go through all the contracts you come in, I guess it's no different to any company anywhere that has contracts come in. If you're a haulage company or whatever it might be, it's working out the logistics to get all of it done as efficiently as possible. You don't want wastage, you don't want any, you know, when I was a postman, it was always referred to as dead ground. If you were delivering to houses, you wanted to be efficient as possible. You didn't want to do any dead walking, so you didn't want to go back over yourself. You would always try and do a route around your delivery that avoided you walking back past houses you've already delivered to and that kind of thing. So it's no different to that. You want to be as efficient as possible. You want to try and work out a way that you can do as many of the contracts as you can. And I'm going to say this again, I can't do all of them. I will try my best to do as many as I can. But it's doing that in a way that they kind of slot together, if that's possible. So the whole time I'm doing stuff, my mind's ticking away thinking, like, how do I make that work? I think, well, I'll hire a worker now. Badger Set Farm's got a pool of workers that will help out. I missed that first bit. That's weird. But I'm not sure, because all these fields are at a slight offset. They're not all quite straight. I'm just worried about running on the railway track. I think I might have to do a third strip up this side. Just very conscious of that. So yeah, we'll get onto the comments and see, you know, what's occurring, how people are feeling, whether I've had any more contracts submitted. And it might be you've submitted one. I always used to, when I did them before, I think when I did Geiselsberg, I would always message people and say, look, you know, it's on the list. I can't guarantee I'll get to it, but I have added it to the list. And it's that thing of, I think I mentioned in the first episode, you're never quite sure where it's all going to go when you first start. So as you start putting those puzzle pieces together, sometimes it flows really nicely. And you kind of, you know, you get each person's individual story, their own narrative they've thrown in. And you kind of work your way through the farm builds, you get new gear, you know, you fulfill contracts with people, you get to do all the different elements, but you're not quite sure where it's going to go off the start. Why does it seem to be going at different angles each time I do it? I need to be able to set this off and go, but I'm going to have to come back to it. But I would also urge people, like I said before, please watch the previous episodes. Because the easiest way for your contract to kind of disappear into the ether, so to speak, is if you submit something that I've already done a lot of, or I've just finished doing. So if I've just done an episode on corn harvesting, for example, if you submit a contract for a big corn harvest, I may get to it if I swing back around to do more corn harvests, especially if it's got an interesting story or, you know, whatever it might be to it that makes it stand out. But I'm not sure, you know, how likely am I to do multiple ones straight off the back of each other. So, you know, I know there's only a certain amount of things you can do within the game, but that's where I love it when people get really imaginative with different things. Bearing in mind there's things like greenhouses and beehives, and, you know, there's all the outline stuff. I know when I did Marwell Manor, I can't remember who it was now, submitted one. It was about a power company, and they wanted to put a solar panel on the farm, and they would pay me, you know, but it wasn't, you know, a full amount and that kind of thing. So things like that, it's just thinking outside the box and thinking, okay, you know, all the stuff that's available, what could we do, what could be thrown in here, what would work, you know. Anyway, that's for you to think about. I will do my best. I don't really want to go with someone else's crops. I think I want to do another strip this way. I'll see you in a minute. I'm going to go back to, I need to get the Massey. Let's go and grab that Baler. Bale field 1. And then I'm just thinking, well, we might only get a chance at that. And I think that Volvo is going to be quite expensive. This is the problem, because I really, really want to get the Volvo, but I could borrow some money, couldn't I? Borrow from the bank. It's always a gamble. I haven't done that for a long time, actually. I think I did it on, again, 6 Ashes, I think. I'm not sure if I ever paid it all off. Possibly. Maybe on my, whichever one I'm going to do next, maybe that's be something I need to look at, is paying off the bank from 6 Ashes, I think. I'll have to check that, because I'm not too sure. This is going to be full momentarily. Okay, I'm in the Massey. We could cut across the grass, but I shouldn't really. I know I did before. I'm sure we can deal with the curb. Let's grab that baler. Now I'm pretty sure that John Deere, we can change the capacity of the bales, I think. So as me saying, I'm not going to be doing a baler that does 6,000 litre bale, you know, or anything like that. I'm sure we can change the capacity on that, or I might be misremembering. But again, that wouldn't be much of a surprise, would it? Right. Let's hook up if we can. There we go. Let's open up this. Maybe I'm just imagining things. I could have sworn this said like 7,000 litre bales online. I really honestly thought, am I missing something then? What's that one then? Well, that's if you go for the forestry option, is it? The L1 and right stick up and down would be for the dozer blade. old baler. Maybe you can't then. I wonder if it was an option in store or something. I need to check that because that's going to drive me mad. It could just be, it might have been a typo. That says 7,500 litres there. 7,500 litres. So where did I read it was 4,000 then? Oh, that's going to be interesting. Okay, ignore me. Maybe it'll do 7,500 litre barrels. That'd be cool. Now, that brings me on to the next point. We have got, I mentioned in the last episode, we've got a pasture for the cows, which is up on the hill, which we'll go and have a look at some point. We'll get up there. Now, I don't have any means at the moment, other than that pasture, of making hay. So I've got some straw there, but that's for bedding for the horses. We've got bales we're going to do now on field 1, which will be put to one side for either TMR or bedding or whatever it ends up being we're going to be using that for. But I don't have any, like I say, if I'm going to do silage, I could do it with corn obviously, but I'm going to have to use the grass pasture because I don't own any other grass fields. So I think I might have to do that. Go up there, but I don't have any mowers. Doing well, and I haven't got any mowers. So there was something else I was thinking. Actually, it turns out I think it's another John Deere bit of gear, but the other thing I was going to do was go down through here and show you. Know, I said in the last episode, if you watched the last episode, of course, there was a little side turning. I said, "Oh, about going down there. I wonder if I can get through." You can, but I don't think I would have got through the harvester because it was quite tight. If I come all the way around through the biogas plant here, brings one to the track. Oh, only full grain tank. Hopefully the workers will get on with that. Where was it? Just here. I'm just thinking now, can I get through the baler? It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. Oh, just about. There we go. So you can get through there, but it's pretty tight. So off to field 1. Yes, I'm going to need a mower. I'm going to need a tedder. I'm going to need a windrower. And again, because I haven't got a huge amount of money, when you're starting off, it's like, okay, I need to find the cheapest alternatives. You know, the widest spread, you know, whatever the biggest width I can get, lowest horsepower requirement, and the cheapest. So there's all those factors to be looking at. I mean, I could get narrow stuff, but it's that balancing act, isn't it, of trying to find the best you can for the requirements you need. You know, if I'd started off this Let's Play with a 400 horsepower tractor, yeah, that changes everything. So based on what I've got, I'm not even actually too sure what horsepower the Fiat is. I'll have to check that, because I'll be honest, I can't remember. I think it might be 140 or maybe 160. We'll have to check the manual. So horses is going to be here. I'm also thinking about storage of bales. I don't have a lot of room at my farm. I mean, I really don't have a lot of room. So the thing about that is there is a bit of a barn here for the horses. I could maybe store bales there. I've got their pasture. We can do a bit of exercise and we can also ride around the countryside. I don't need the beaker anymore. But that'll probably be probably the next episode. This episode we need to get these bales sorted and we need to get them off the field because I need to then get lime. I need to also fertilise the field and it needs to be ploughed before I can put any new crop into our field 1. I've also got my own harvest on field, is it 12 and 13? Yeah, 12 and 13 need to be harvested as well. So we need to get onto that. So yes, there's a load of field prep work and all sorts. I just need to get the bales off this. And there'll be more bales, of course, off of 12 and 13. Now, there's a moment of truth then. Let's do this. We're not going to get a huge amount of bales because it's a small harvester header. There's not a lot of swath per, there's not a lot of straw per swath. That's what I meant to say. Actually, it's lucky that's got quite a wide pickup. So it went off course a little bit there. I'm just thinking, looking at what we've got there, we've already gone past 2,000. Yeah, it's not going to be a 4,000 litre bale. Okay, well that's going to be interesting. 7,500 litre bales. Making that work in total mix ration might be a little bit tricky. So this is what I'm saying. This is leased. I'm not sure if this is going to be the final. I'm thinking a square baler. But this was another one as well. I was looking through the brochure and I thought, I haven't really used this one before. So, round or square bales? I suppose that's another question to ask, isn't it? What's your preference? What do you normally do? I mean, I generally bounce between the two. Depends on the countryside, depends on the landscape. If it's very hilly, I often stay away from round bales because they tend to roll down hills unless you're going across the field. And you can do round bales on a hilly terrain, but obviously square bales stay put when you put them down. When you use auto load bale trailers as well, that often is the case, unless you've got the ones where you put them right down on the ground. Now that's interesting because that's a standard size bale. 7,500 litres. Okay. Yeah, so sometimes when you've got auto load trailers and you go to unload them, you know what it's like when you get that gap of a foot or so and they don't quite go to the floor. Square bales, if you release them, will drop and sit. Round bales can be a little bit iffy. I've done both, but yeah, I think I'm going to hold out for a square baler. I'm going to have another peruse through the brochure later on today, I think, and see where we go with that. Well, Massey's having no problem pulling this baler. I was watching Cold Cornstar the other day. His brother Cooper does hay baling sort of on the side to make a bit of extra money, and he had a Vermeer baler and was looking to get a new one. And he'd asked a question to his subscribers and the viewers of Cold Cornstar's channel, what should we be looking for to get? Around where they were, it's mostly Vermeers and John Deeres and stuff like that. And a few people had suggested a New Holland baler. So he went off and he bought a New Holland. He said, I've never had one before, you don't really see them where we are. But he got himself a New Holland, which is a bit of a departure. It's like I was saying in the last episode, when you've got farms that you've got machinery and stuff you're used to and you kind of stick to go out of your comfort zone and pick something you've never really used before. It's a gamble, If you know Vermeer balers, if you know new John Deere balers, getting a baler from a completely different manufacturer, that's a gamble. Get it all. Yeah, we've got it all on a tiny little bit missed. I can't leave that. I'll go mad. Right. Let's see how many barrels we end up with then. One of the workers was just doing an offload and mentioned to me, so I thought I'd come over and have a look. Something that worked out rather handy. You can adjust the height of the trailer depending on what you're towing with, so we can raise it down or up depending to get it level. But the great thing about that is we can drop it down so it's not level, because it's only a single axle, so it's not too much of a problem. That way our front of the trailer is dipped low enough that we can go under the pipe without even coming anywhere near into contact, and we can bring it back up again for transport down the road if we want to. So we can drop it right down and it will go under without any worries. I know it wasn't a major thing, but there was that a little bit of clipping. I thought, oh, I shouldn't really do that, but you can adjust it, so we haven't got to worry now. That makes life a little bit easier. So if if you have got a low pipe on a harvester, that sort of thing can make a huge difference. There we go. You probably don't care, but I just thought I'd point it out. Baling's going well. We're going to get back over there in a minute. So's the harvest on here. We are currently sitting at, where are we? Contracts 38%. Is that all? Okay. So the problem is a lot of the other ones we got are sugar beet and potatoes. There's a couple of other ones. What's that one? Oh, that's standard. That's wheat. 8,700. That's got to be a big field. Where's field 2? That's going to be a monster in it. Oh yeah. Okay. So we are currently here on field 33. Currently. And field 2, yeah, I mean, it's double the size, I guess, isn't it? But I suppose that's one I could leave chugging away in the background while I'm doing other stuff. It gains me more wheat, which I can either sell or keep if I get a contract where people need wheat. That obviously doesn't work. I've got a few organic contracts that have been sent in. One, I think, at least one for corn, one for barley. I forgot the others. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. So obviously, ones where I've done harvests for other farmers, I don't know and can't guarantee that they're organic. So that wheat or barley can't then be used for a contract. I can't fulfill a contract with that person and claim it's organic. So those organic ones will be done by me organically. That's the plan. I seem to have lost a harvest. Oh, there is. It's the moment of truth. Field 33 is complete. Let's see if I can get it right this time. We'll see. I've switched over the tractors, as you can see. There's a reason for that. I haven't bought a wheel loader, front loader, skid steer loader. Well, no, I bought a front loader. I haven't bought a skid steer loader or the Volvo or anything yet. I bought a front loader adapter, or just a front loader, for the Fiat. So what we're going to be doing is moving the bales off the field. I'm just going to put them to the side, out of the way for the time being. I think we've got 14 with some left in the baler, and obviously I've got my harvest to do on fields 12 and 13. One's wheat, one's barley, so we'll get more straw off that. I am seriously considering though getting one of those silo extensions for the main silo so I can put loose straw in, but again I haven't got anything to pick up loose straw with yet, so I've got to, do I get a loading wagon, do I use the milling machine? I could use the milling machine with this, maybe. Yeah, that would work, wouldn't it? 48,000 litres at a time. We could do that. So yeah, I'm just kind of weighing up my options. All I've got to do is make sure I sell this at the right place this time. Or sell this, deliver it. We're at 84% complete on the contract. And then whatever's left over we can keep, providing I don't mess it up again. That'll go into storage. And then we'll move the bales. I'm just trying to think, next episode. Right, horses. We need horses and big copper seeds. We've got the stuff that's been delivered. Horses will be coming. I need to prep field 1, harvest field 12 and 13. We've got loads to do, tons of work to do, and we're only just getting started. Now this is a side tip, and I think I'm tip left, but let's just check the map to make sure it's not over the railway. No, that looks to be right to me. The telltale that I missed yesterday was when I started to tip, I was earning money and I didn't even notice. I was so busy watching the tipper to see if it hit the ceiling. Right, we're not getting paid. Great. So as soon as that hits contract complete, I've got to stop unloading. Come on. What do we keep hold of? 13,000 litres. That's pretty good. So we made a little bit. I didn't quite press it quick enough. Contract on field 33 is complete. We've come out of it with 13,000 just over, nearly 14,000 litres for ourselves that can go into storage. Contract complete on that means I can now get paid for that. Let's collect. I think I'm going to accept it because I can do that off camera, off screen. I can let the harvester chug away to its heart's content, although everything needs to come into the IFO. I'm going to check that again in case it's train. If it's train, that'll work out better. No, it's not. It's here. So that's going to be a bit of transporting, isn't it, from field 2? There's no straightforward way, is there? Can we go up over the top there? I think we can, can't we? We come back down to the roundabout. So we can kind of cut across. Okay, we can do that. Right, I'm going to take this back to the farm. We'll unload it. The harvester will need to go back. I also need a toolbox. I need a jet wash because my harvester is absolutely filthy. So there are a few things we're going to need to buy. They're not too expensive, so we can do that. Let's swing around on the grass. Go back on the way. Actually, what I can do on the way back is check out that route and see if it is a viable shortcut. If it is, we'll use it. Absolutely brilliant. I'm in that really excited phase, you know, that everything's bubbling, you know, there's all sorts of things. I've got stuff in the back of my head. I know I've got contracts sitting there waiting to go. I've got the in-game contracts. There's loads of gear and equipment I need to buy. That's always a big part of it for me as well. With that I know it sounds really sad, but that excitement of trawling through and trying to find what you want to buy. It's like going through a catalogue, looking for, you know, what you want, and, you know, or going out shopping to buy what you want to buy. And you've got that long list of stuff, and I've said it so many times that when you get to that tipping point, when you've got everything you need, you're bringing in money, there's nothing new you want or need, that's when you know I've achieved my goal, really. I've got to where I need to be. At the moment, every job I think, right, I'll go and do this, like, oh, I haven't got the equipment for that. I don't have mowers, haven't got a tedder, haven't got a windrower, haven't got a loading wagon, haven't got the milling machine, haven't, you know, there's so much equipment and gear I don't have. Even with the horses, I haven't got a water tanker. I've got enough money, I think we might be okay. Let's see if we can cut across. Just curious. We should be able to. This will be the route I'll have to take. Now, I would imagine doing that harvest contract on field 2. I'll probably do my 2 fields first, and then we'll pick that one up later on, because I really do need to get my own fields done. Oh, look at this. This is amazing. I don't think I actually went along this bit when I did the map tour, but I love the tunnel kind of blocked in now that used to be there. I assume it comes out the other side, or does it come out further along? I was so convinced as well that the third Giants map for FS22 was going to be Italian. I don't know why, I just had it in my head it was going to be Italian. And it turned out to be French. But oh, it's steep in places. I think with a full load, although I'm going to be coming the other way, but we'll have to see how steep it is coming the other way. Okay, so yes, it's going to be bales. I've already got the Fiat over on the field. I think I leased the front load. I didn't buy it. Because oh, there we go. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do just yet. How does this bring us out? Wow, there's all these little buildings and stuff all over the place. Oh, there's a fuel station. Is that down the bottom of the hill here? There is. Glorious. Glorious. Across the road. I assume I'm going the right road. I'm heading the right direction. Once we get closer, then we can kind of work out the final bits. Is this going to bring us up by the stables? Yeah, biogas plant there. Oh, this might be absolutely perfect. This should bring us up by the stable. Let's check the map to our left. We're nowhere near field 2, so to do that route across, field 2's over that direction somewhere. That's good. Close that off. Oh look, it doesn't get any better than that, does it? Bit of off-the-cuff map reading. Let's just head in a general direction and hope we find our way, and that's worked out fine. I have pulled up by the side of field 1. That actually works really well with that. I like that. I went for orange because it would match up. Now this is a CSZ pack bale spike. Now this auto loads 3 bales. I used a square bale one of these on Holmerkra. So I was going to try and do it manually, but you have to set it to manual for it to work. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to take them, there's a flat part just over there on the grass. I'm going to put them to one side. I suppose I could stack them by the side of the field here until I get to a point. Let's open the forks up. Now, auto load. Let me just try and get this right. Is that right? There we go. That's 1. So it's sort of not quite. I was going to go with a normal spike, and I thought I'll do it this way, and the third one should go on top, I think. I thought this is supposed to be 3 bales. That's curious. So that needs to be up for it to the 3rd. That definitely said 3 bales. Oh well, 2. I might as well just had a regular bale fork, but that's odd. I don't know why that's not working. It would be nice just once for me to do something where it works exactly how I thought it was going to straight away. No, it's not doing anything, is it? Does it need to be right the way down? No, it doesn't work. Okay. So, I'm just going to put them over here out of the way. I wish I'd have got a regular bale fork now. That feels a little bit... feels like I've been cheated. That's fine. I don't know why, because when I did it on Holmerkra, the square one worked fine. So I've got a little bit of a flat piece here. So I can just stack the bales there to the side, and then we can sort out what we're going to do with them at a later date. Load and unload. Sort of flat. It will do. No. Let's try this again. Try a third. If it doesn't work, I'm going to swap it out for a regular spike. And I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to do it regular. That just, to me, doesn't. I'm not. I honestly, I don't do it very often, and I don't say. I just feel a bit cheaty, you know. I will often, if I'm doing certain things, I will justify why I'm doing it, how I'm doing it, but that just, I don't know, it doesn't feel right. I like manually picking up bales. I like the various different V grabs and stuff like that, but I don't know. Is that weird? Let's put those away. Right. See in a minute. I'm going to go and get a regular one. Let's do this properly. Standard forks collected. We should be good to go. What I'm going to do, I've never been particularly good at doing this in camp. And also I've never been very good at working out where the forks are, but a few different people a while back had messaged me and said about how you can do that. Now, to the left, on the left fork, if I remember when I edit this, I'll zoom in. There's a little tube with a pin that looks like the pin sticking out of it. So if I tilt my forks forward, that pin is now moving up or down. When that pin just disappears out of sight, the fork should be level. If I bring it down a little bit further, you'll see the pins just, maybe you can just see it. If I raise them up, see that pin there? So what should happen is, as that pin just disappears, the forks are pretty much level with the ground and me, in theory. Let's raise up a little bit. Put that in. 7,500 litre bale. Done. So I'll go and lay that down. This just feels a bit more, you know. It feels a bit more okay. It's going to take a while. I could bring a trailer out to the field and load them onto the trailer, then bring the trailer over and unload that. But I'm right by the side of the field. This is where I'm going to be putting them down. This is strange because this reminds me very much of one of my very first early videos on FS15, where I was doing bale stacking, and that was when I thought, oh, I did that really well. I'll record that. I'll just hit record. That'll work. All right, let me just check. It's hard. Yeah, it's really difficult to tell, isn't it? The height of where your forks are. So even now, looking ahead to see where that is tricky, but it's also knowing the height you're at because there's no kind of monitor. It's that depth perception thing again, isn't it? Maybe FS24 or whatever it is will be in. There'll be a VR option. We'll see. Fingers crossed we'll get a VR option. So anyway, I'm going to spend some time doing this because I'm smiling and I'm happy and I'm enjoying it. So why not? Why not enjoy what I'm doing? And I mean, it's Italy, it shouldn't rain. We'll see. I'm not saying it doesn't rain in Italy, of course it does, but generally speaking, the weather's supposed to be quite nice, isn't it? Is that? No, come on, come on, come on. Oh. Really? Come on. That'll do. What I can always do is flip them that way. Nudge it forward a little bit. That'll do. Yeah, so with that, we have come to the end of this episode. As I've been saying, we have got loads more to do. Loads more gear to buy, loads more kit to do, loads more contracts to do, loads more farming to do, fields to buy, animals to husband, you know. All that stuff, all that good stuff is to come. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.